I always love how dramatic that intro is. It's so
It's
damn
the best.
fine.
It is the best.
That's
ever.
epic.
Welcome everybody.
Hi
Go ahead,
guys.
Katie.
I just love the intro. I feel super important.
Yeah, I'm in like the shadow of two pseudoscience slayers here. I must say. I mean these guys have been on talk shows, some publications this week that are really big. BuzzFeed, Dr. Phil. I mean, and I just talked to flat earthers. I mean, I feel just very out of place right here. The last stream I was out of place because I was in the stream with all veterans. Nice, he came prepared.
I did. It's a club made out of the hip bones of a black bear.
Holy shit, that is my proportions that I was not prepared for. I was not prepared for that. You have an axe made out of a bear hip. How badass is that?
It's a war club, man. War club.
I'm just curious. Where do you get a bear hip axe from?
I made it because we randomly were camping on the coast and we found a bear carcass and it died like all by itself, and then it was just this big pile of fur and the bones sticking up, and yeah, cleaned it up and put it on a big old stick, wrapped it up. Yeah,
you're a bigger man than I.
A bear carcass. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's killer.
That's amazing.
Before I started going to like university and getting really hard into science and everything, I mean, I was like a super hippy dippy, survivalist kind of junkie. And so, yeah, like.
Are you a former Crunchy Woo?
I am. Yeah, no, I am. I really am. I am a former Crunchy Woo Woo, like spiritualist practitioner. Yeah.
Me too.
I feel left out. What is this?
That is why I am so passionate about writing about this stuff, because I was fooled for such a long time.
Yep, same here.
What was
I mean, I never like held
Crunchy.
What was
Woo?
Crunchy Woo, like hippie dippy,
gotcha.
like.
Got it. Okay.
I shop at a co-op and spend $30 more a month, or $30 million more a month on my groceries just because it's organic.
And I didn't mean to interrupt
not
you.
Only is this, not only is this avocado organic and gluten-free, non-GMO, but it's also blessed by a shaman. Ooh, I want that one.
Yes.
That's awesome. Crystals? Please say crystals.
I didn't do the crystal thing.
I was big into rocks.
Really?
Yes, I love rocks. Yeah.
Get what crazy people like Jillian said. Like, I watched what is it called? What the bleep do we know? And I'm like, that makes sense. That is how the world works, man. And like, I was an idiot.
Oh God, in college we would like pray to the universe for our husbands, and
I don't even know you right now, Katie. I don't even know you right now.
I know. I am not that person anymore.
The biggest thing is sleeping with the crystal on your heart. I mean, that takes dedication right there.
I know.
That is dedication. So obviously, Katie and I are joined by Jeff Holiday this week, who is we have actually two Jillian experts in here. I mean, this is going to be a fantastic stream. I'm so glad that Jeff, you were able to join us, and I'm going to turn it over to you to tell everybody where they can find more about you, where they can follow you, that sort of thing, and what you specialize in.
Yeah, I mean, you can find me just by Googling Jeff Holiday anywhere on YouTube. I mostly just do YouTube. And I'll do research, filming, and editing streams on my Twitch channel as well. So the whole process, I've become really transparent with like what I do. But yeah, I specialize in finding pseudoscience quacks, people who are trying to like lead people astray, prey on helpless, defenseless people, suck their money, or even get them to harm themselves and their kids. And I bend them over and I butt fuck them. So yeah, that's what I do.
Oh, I like that. That's a good. That's a different, unique plan of attack, and one I can get behind. So I fully support it. Katie, Do you want
Yes.
to say hello to everyone and let people know about your blog and what you're writing about this week before we jump into this week in newsdom?
Oh, this week was incredibly insane because that Daily Beast article went massively viral in terms of like every other news outlet picked it up. And so the story of Free Birth Mama was, or Lisa is what they're calling her, was featured in Newsweek, in Mamma Mia, on BuzzFeed, on
The musical Mamma Mia?
it's like the Australian version kind of People magazine sort of.
Got it.
Yeah, it's a big publication in Australia, and then like I don't know, a bajillion, yeah, Jezebel, Cafe Stir. I mean, pretty much everybody covered it this
You were
week.
everywhere.
So yeah, well, I wasn't mentioned. It's been kind of a weird week, to be honest. I mean, I'm really happy that the story got exposure because a lot of people now are talking about the danger of free birth, and I feel like a really good conversation has started about the difference between body autonomy of the woman and the rights of the newborn, and what is the experience of birth more critical than the actual life of the child. So there's for the most part it's been positive. There's been some backlash, but for the most part I'd say it's brought in a lot more exposure to the topic, which I think is good if you want to change and help impact change and bring out the charlatans and expose them. It's good. And yesterday was actually a pretty big day because somebody from the Free Birth Society group that was in with Emily while this whole thing went down, she dropped a couple screenshots, and I don't know if you remember, but Emily Saldea has been denying any involvement with the mom, and she's been very minimizing it this entire time. And now there's proof that there was 2 screenshots, and it was a mom reaching out to her saying there's someone in our group, I'm really concerned about her. And Emily's like, oh, I've been talking to her for days. She's fine. And she sent me pictures of her and she sent me pictures of her amniotic fluid, and I didn't see any meconium, and she's good.
That's good.
So
awesome.
That's really good.
Yeah. So I feel like we're getting more, as
you're making a change.
The community. Yeah, I think as the community starts to crumble a little bit, people are starting to get, a little bit more angry, and people within that community are starting to speak out, which is a good thing. I tried to interview 2 of them, and they wouldn't talk to me because they said that I don't support free birth. And, what can I do?
You can be you and be awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I told them I wouldn't tread them, but let's get into the news.
Well, we're gonna before we get angry with Jeff has some news about Jilly, everybody's favorite cabbage, and we're gonna get to that. Yes, we're okay. So hold on tight, guys. But right now, we're gonna take Jeff along with Katie and I through this week in newsdom. Jeff, what we do is we go through the top 5 most ridiculous headlines that came through this week, and just kind of give our thoughts about what's going on. This week is the best so far, I think. So I'm very excited. Let's go with story number 1, Dave. I guess I should probably get ready. I was paying attention to Katie. Okay, so we're gonna start out with
you love my makeup.
Yeah, it's really good. It looks fantastic.
Thanks.
So last night we did a Flat Earth Fest where we had 3 different debate shows. We went for about 7 hours in Flat Earth. I'm exhausted from it, but it was it was crazy. We had a guy that was just Flat Earth hero, was ridiculous, and then we had it was a mess, but it was a glorious mess. And thank you all for watching. That was it was the highest watched program so far, so it was a good weekend. But there's a new theory going out that flat earthers are kind of shifting to. And this is true. This is not a joke. The flat earthers have introduced a new theory called a donut Earth. Now, basically, yes, and it's just as ridiculous as it sounds. The theory was posed on a Flat Earth Society discussion board, and it says, I have a theory that the Earth is in fact shaped like a torus, which is a donut shape. However, light is curved so that we cannot tell. And basically what they're saying is that if you lay for an example, if you lay a torch down on a table and turn it on, now get a donut and place it on its side with the holes perpendicular to the torch. The side that is illuminated by the torch is in the day, and the side that is not is in the dark. So, in this article, Jeff, do you understand what they're saying there?
Okay. Okay. So the sun must be like a source of illumination in the middle of the torus Earth, the donut Earth, and the donut Earth itself like peels and rotates like that.
I think that from what I gather, it's sort of like that. Basically, you have the sun is like in that picture. The sun is on the outside, and as it moves around the Earth, it's illuminating things, and what's in the kind of middle is when it's nighttime. So that kind of moves and spins. That's the only thing that I can see that makes sense out of it.
I just feel like this is really Illuminati.
But like okay, but the shit. Damn it. Okay, so if the sun, all right. So if the sun is like outside of it, then why couldn't it just be a globe?
Well, because it's
that Jeff. That would be too easy.
Think about it this way. If you have the like if the United States is in the middle or where it's dark right now, if it's on that dark side, right? So you have Europe's obviously going to be on this outer side. The sun is illuminating this side of the donut. So the other side of the donut is going to be in darkness. You see what I'm saying? So it's like an inner tube on this.
And
the
so like
foreground
it's just,
here.
like the inner tube kind of spins like this.
No, the inner
like,
tube doesn't spin. The sun does, because we're the center of the universe. Obviously, this is a geocentric layout.
See, in my mind, I was imagining like it was like going like this.
That'd be great.
I
Jeff,
still don't
listen,
understand how this.
Don't break your brain trying to figure it out, man. Because the moment you say, "Oh, I get it," you're done for. As long as you don't get it, you're good.
I'm not woke enough for this.
Is this Freudian? Maybe is there something to do with the vagina?
I think it's just. I think it's just stupid. That's where that's the category it belongs in. It's now look.
Well, maybe another came up with it extremely sexless.
Well, the thing is, the last thing that they came out with that Lad kind of covered, which was interesting, was that that Australia doesn't exist, right? They did this long article. These three guys came out with this theory that Australia was a joke because England put a bunch of people on a ship bound for an island. It crashed and sank, and all the prisoners drowned. So to cover it up, they said that Australia exists. Well, that just kind of stuck, and Australia is just a figment of our imagination. People are paid to have the Australian accent and to say that there's now. Interestingly enough, Australia trolled back they trolled back the flat earthers, right? Now get this: Australia did a tourist video recently, and they're saying, come visit the movie set of the world's biggest cover up. So they're saying you can come to Australia to visit which is really good. It's really clever.
Those wacky.
I like that.
All right, let's go to the next one, Dave.
I love the bounds of their conspiracy. The entire continent is being fabricated.
Let's lose our faith in humanity now, because there was a woman arrested for trying out dozens of sex toys in the middle of a Walmart store. In Union City, California, a woman was arrested this morning after stripping almost naked in a Walmart store to test various sex toys in front of dozens of shocked customers. The Union Police Department received a... Go ahead.
Wait a minute. Wait, Walmart sells sex toys?
No, it doesn't. No, Walmart doesn't sell sex. What kind of Walmart was she at?
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, where I was at Walmart today going grocery shopping, and I did not see sex toys anywhere.
Okay, but listen to this description, okay? The Union Police Department received a call at 9:45. Upon arriving at the site, the officers found 27-year-old Laura Martinez lying almost naked on the floor, masturbating with a vibrator. According to Darlene Anderson, an employee who witnessed the incident, Miss Martinez used at least 24 different toys before she was arrested. Quote, "It was the grossest thing I've seen in my life. That fat lady just dropped her pants and started testing every dildo and vibrator we have in front of everyone."
See, everyone that she has. Wait a minute. Walmart sells dildos?
No, she brought them.
Oh my
She brought them
God.
to Walmart. She brought them to Walmart to but let's be honest, guys.
God.
Yeah, Jeff, you've been we've all been to Walmart, right? Is this
Oh, sure.
if we stop and think about it, is this really that shocking? Like, I mean, if we stop and think, isn't this within the realm of possibility that this could happen at Walmart?
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I this absolutely seems completely plausible. It really does, but it just does not. And you know what? If this was just like a blank headline, it'd be one thing. But that woman's picture staring back at me
Yeah.
right now makes it way too real right now.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
I'm having trouble determining if it's a man or a woman. I know you keep saying it's a woman, but it looks like a man to me.
If it's a man, that'd be even better.
And
She looks like she gives zero fucks about it, though. She looks like she gives zero fucks
Yeah.
about what she.
I love
What she
that.
Yeah, I did it. I'm proud. I did it. I'm proud.
The thing
I
is,
bet she
like,
got like really pissed off that she was
Like,
interrupted
dildos,
too. Like, how dare you?
yeah, exactly. But 12, I mean, or I'm sorry, 24, 24. The thing is, this lady who is given this account, by what she said, she sat there and watched a woman go through 12 different sex toys. Like, who stands there and watches that? Now it depends on who it would be, right? But I'm looking here, and I would be going by dildo number one. I'm sorry, I'm just being honest. I'd be out the door at dildo number one.
Like someone.
I mean, I guess like if you gotta like monitor to make sure that she's not gonna like harm anybody, like it's your job as an employee, you have to watch the masturbating woman, make sure she doesn't
Oh,
do
no.
something worse. That
There's not enough money for that.
Oh
that
my
There's
gosh!
not enough
I
money
feel
for
like
that.
they
person
might
deserves
have
a raise.
they might have needed, like, you know, when they go through trauma at work and they have to have like a debriefing.
Oh yes, emotional counseling.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
I'm pretty sure that
I feel
wasn't
like those
a job interview, though. I'm pretty sure that the boss didn't say, well, no, listen, there may be the occasional time where a big old lady's going to come in with 24 dildos and just go to town, so get ready.
Oh, you're gonna see, like, she probably like got a nasty old coochie. Oh,
That's hazard pay.
Oh,
All right, let's go to the next one. We're going to end on nasty coochie. Okay, now here's the one that just kind of really it just makes me angry, because this is the state that that we go too far. Like, there are certain things that I think it is good to get behind, and that should be phased out as far as things that we say in everyday conversation. But now we're getting to the point where long time no see is considered offensive. It's a non-inclusive language at Colorado State University. And basically they're saying that at Colorado State University, administrators have designated the common greeting long time no see as non-inclusive language. That, according to a student who writes for the campus paper, she said that they met with directors of the university who showed her a list of terms and phrases contrary to the university's mission of fostering inclusion. This is the last thing I'll read about this. It says one of these phrases was "long time no see," which is viewed as derogatory and absolutely not allowed on campus.
is that because
it
it's
sa-
like
it says
offensive
it's-
to blind people, or?
Right.
well, that's what I would think. But I mean, in this, doesn't it say it says it's derogatory towards those of Asian descent? How? Why?
It
Like,
does say
I
Asian descent,
can't-
but the article says nothing about Asians. Period.
Yeah.
Weird.
I was noticing the second title, basically, the sub.
The only thing that it says
summary
is
there.
that it raises the possibility that it is Chinese or Native American origin, but the phrase is so widespread that it's impossible to tell for sure. So it's
okay.
So what?
now but it doesn't stop there. Colorado said this university. This is the other thing that was on that list. It discouraged the use of "you guys" and "y'all," which is gender neutral, and apparently less of a concern. But
That
they,
is why,
at the same
Kyle,
time,
That is
what?
why, Kyle,
So
I will be going back to UNC, University of Northern Colorado, or University Colorado, not CSU. CSU is like a liberal arts college, basically.
I'm good with.
Oh,
I
that's
just
where
think it just
my
went too far
brother
this
went
time.
to-
What were you gonna say, Katie?
Oh, so my brother has his master's from CSU. But
Oh.
So this kind of
you
stuff,
guys,
this kind of stuff's been.
you guys isn't okay.
Right.
Well, yeah, it's gendered. Guys, that sounds male. That's not very inclusive
Oh
to
my
our
gosh,
non-guy people.
Oh my gosh, even my, you know what's funny is when I write, I have this editing tool that I use, and it like picks up gender like bias now, and it's so annoying. Like if you say police man instead of police officer.
Oh my
Ah.
God. Like
Yeah.
I understand the desire to want to change, and like there are some words that definitely you can go without saying. Like I try not
Sure.
use the term retard anymore, because it's just like it loses a lot of its meaning, and it's kind of a shitty word to say. So I try not to, unless I'm really mad. If I ever say it,
Sure.
you know I'm
No.
really mad. But
Sure.
this has been going on for like 2-3 years now, and it always is something incredibly dumb. And in fact, dumb and stupid at one point were being pushed as ableist language, because some people are just inherently not intelligent, and so that is derogatory towards them. And
Yep.
that the whole concept of that is incredibly stupid. Just
You don't.
no.
The thing is, though, this is exactly why people like Trump are winning elections. Is because we, I consider myself liberal, but I'm not like I'm not that extreme liberal. Like I don't police what people say, and what people who are in the middle, I think, or on the right that could potentially come over and see that voting for Trump is obviously a horrible idea, get fixated on the fact that the liberals, as they see it, are busy doing this stuff, saying that you can't say long time no see to someone, that's offensive, or you can't say you guys or y'all. And so they're like, well, I don't want that to be the kind of country that I grow up in, so I'm going to go over here to a hydrogenated Cheeto and vote for him to be president. So, I mean, stop it, liberals. Stop making fights over stupid stuff like this, please.
And it's unfortunate too, because it's a very small.
It's the radicals. It's the radical liberals. It's not like those of us that are like, I don't know, not radical, normal. Yeah.
Yeah, normal.
I mean,
Yeah.
Well, like for instance, it happens a lot with feminism, right? Like there's the radical feminists that are very much like, we must get rid of the patriarchy, and we must have a matriarchy, and we cannot stop, and we can never be happy, and we must get rid of gender bias in all facets of life, and we actually had a really historic election results this year with 100 women for the first time going into the United States Congress. Several of them are women of color, the first Native American woman.
Who's also gay and an MMA fighter.
Right. Two Latin American women from Texas, the first Latinas ever in Texas elected. I mean, this is sure, yes, there's 435 people in the United States Congress. 100 is still only less than 25%, but come on, that is like big. And I was arguing with this younger feminist who's maybe 20, and she's like, we don't stop, we don't get excited about these things, we don't no. And I'm like, no, this is a big deal. Like in my lifetime, I've never seen this happen. I am a 40-year-old feminist, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to stop and be like, yes. No, is the fight? No, but come on. That's amazing.
It's nice to be able to like actually appreciate the progress that is made. I mean, sure, if you want to keep fighting for more progress, that's okay. But it's a small, tiny little chunk of the liberal left, and it's usually around like college campuses, but it makes like liberalism in the left seem like a goddamn cartoon character. I mean, myself, I started getting radicalized into like hating things liberal and left. I've been liberal and left my whole damn life. I had to pull myself back from that shit. I really did, because it seemed I bought into thinking that was indicative of my culture, and it's not. It's not. There are 10, 20 times more regular, rational, normal, just decent, liberal left people than there are like these wing nuts that make headlines.
They're just louder, and we forgot. We're too extreme. I think we go to either the far right or the far left, or you're Antifa, you're alt right. We've forgotten that middle still exists, where we can kind of come together and see each other's sides and like cooperate and have a kind of a give and take, instead of it all being that person's evil. We can't go there, and so all that does is just drive the wedge further and push people further and further out to the extremes. And then as long as that happens, we're going to be in the mess that we're kind of this happens. So lay off.
Well,
let's straighten up.
Let's all come to the middle and have a beer. Seriously.
Yeah, please. Yeah, stop policing people's.
I'd actually like a Moscow Mule right now.
I would too.
Oh my god!
You're gonna need one after this
Moscow
story.
Mules.
You're gonna need one after this next story.
Next.
Oh, good.
This is only in Florida. Now each week we have a story from Florida. This is just something that I don't plan. It's something that happens.
In Ohio?
Okay. Florida and Ohio. So a Florida man jumped into a St. Augustine crocodile exhibit, was found wearing boxers, and I might add, he was found with Crocs on. That's the crux of this story. So
wow,
this guy thinks he's breaking into to a park. He jumps over the fence. We're going to show you the video here in just a second, but it's kind of hard to see, so you need to this is the layout of it. So he's jumping into this park, and I don't think he knew that the alligator exhibit was on the other side of the fence that he jumped into, but he jumped into the middle of crocodiles, and they bit the hell out of him. So Dave, let's roll that beautiful footage of this genius from Florida. So you're going to see him here in just a second. See right there?
Oh, wow.
You see him jump in?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
He jumps in, and then you're going to see the crocodile start to move towards. Now, this is a pitch dark night, all right? Can you imagine being in the water with, I think they said there were 30 crocodiles that they have in that exhibit? How the guys survived that night?
Man.
Wait, is this at Gatorland? Is this at Gatorland or?
It's Gators, but it's.
Is it at Gator?
They'll eat
Gatorland
you.
or?
I think it might be Gatorland.
I think it's.
I went there. We went to Gatorland like 2 years ago with my son. There are so many crocodiles there. It's crazy.
Yeah, you can't really see. Dave, is that the end of the video? Like, because I thought there was a part where that showed the thing snapping at him.
It's really hard to see.
I kind of saw it like up in the middle.
Yeah,
it's
up in the middle, right off the edge of the fence there, where he falls in.
Yeah,
and
that didn't show up as good as I thought it would, but
he gets rolled by a bunch of crocodiles, basically.
But he did survive, though.
He did survive. They found him. The crocodiles had stripped him completely of his clothes except his boxer shorts and his Crocs. They left the Crocs. Even alligators won't wear those ugly, godforsaken shoes. So if you have Crocs, even alligators won't wear them. Okay. So, but yeah, I'm sorry that didn't show up as well as I thought it would on the screen. But the story is good anyway. It's irony. So, the best story that we have this week, though, and this is my favorite story that we've done since we've been doing this. We touched on it briefly just a second ago, but you have people who are gender fluid and non-binary, right? They can.
Oh, this is my favorite story.
Yeah. So a Tinder lover who is 69 years old, he identifies as a 49-year-old, takes legal action to change his age so that he can date younger viewers. Now, this is a true story. This guy is a entertainment mogul over in Denmark. His name is, Let me get it up here. This story is so great. His name is Emil Rattlebland. He argues that if transgender people are allowed to change their sex, he should be allowed to change his date of birth because doctors say he has the body of a much younger man. He is 69 years old, and he said that he is suing his local authority after they refused to amend his age on official documents. His case has now gone to the court of Arnhem in the eastern Dutch province of Gelderland. He was born on March 11th of 1949, but he says he feels 20 years younger and wants his birth date changed to the 11th of March 1969. He said that I have done checkups, and what does it show? It shows that my biological age is 45. So I am 69. I am limited. If I'm 49, then I can buy a new house, drive a different car. I can take up more work. When I'm on Tinder, it says that I'm 69 and I don't get an answer. When I'm 49, the face I have will be in a luxurious position. Transgenders can now have their gender changed on their birth certificate, and in the same spirit, there should be room for an age change.
I'm sorry, but are people really lining up to date 49-year-olds? I mean, my husband is almost 49.
I'm not in that line.
wait, hey, that doesn't sound very nice.
Hey, I just mean like my husband is 49 or 47. It's not like all kinds of women are not going to. Oh, well, he's all mine, ladies.
There you
Step
go.
off.
There you go. But how do we feel about this? Like, where do we stop? Where's the line drawn?
You cannot. I'm sorry. Age. Okay, age is literally like that. You cannot like change how many times your body has like moved around the sun.
But people can say that about sex too.
They could, and they could say biological sex is determined by your chromosomes. That is an argument that people still make, and it's an argument that you have to kind of circumnavigate when you're talking about how language is used. Like a prescriptive versus a descriptive notion of what sex is, et cetera, et cetera. Actually, ContraPoints made a fantastic video about it, like just last week. But the thing is, here's why I think this is bullshit. Like, I understand the trans issue because this is something that's like analyzed and understood through decades of psychology and study and understanding that society changing to allow for these people to get the help that they need is not really a cost to us, and it's a gain to them because they're debilitated by a situation they can't control. I don't think that there are any fucking studies done yet with actual research into like trans ageists. Like I have age dysmorphia, like no.
I mean, if he is successful enough and he just like says that he has like $1 million jillion, he'll get girls.
Oh, listen to you.
At 69.
Listen to you.
He will. I mean, Hugh Hefner was like begging like 20-year-olds until he died.
But Hugh Hefner was Hugh Hefner, though. I mean, he's the godfather of Playboy.
Disgusting.
I mean, Hugh Hefner.
Yeah.
Possibility.
This guy's not pretty to look at. Go ahead, Dave.
I was just gonna say the possibility exists that we will have, like he said, trans ageist or age dysphoria. Like, what the hell is that going to be the new thing, Jeff? Age dysphoria.
I mean, well, they had that one case of that guy. He was like in his 50s, I think. He had children, and he decided that he was going to go and live as a 5-year-old girl in this like really strange. Yeah, oh yeah, no, this is very real. It's very real. And he got into like this weird, crazy fetish relationship with these two people, and like he pretends to be a little girl all the time. But the thing is, that dude is just doing his own little freaky thing off with his fetish pals, and yeah, sure, you see some videos about him or maybe read some articles, but he's not petitioning or suing anybody to get his actual like age changed to 5.
Oh
like,
man,
it's an unreasonable demand of society. So,
oh man, this is so crazy. Katie, you have to do an article about that. The guy who thinks he's a 5-year-old girl. That's gold. She's not ready.
Yeah.
She's not ready.
Well, no, I will. But okay, so there is something to be said about this whole idea of age, like your age not your physical age, not matching your mental age, right?
Oh yeah.
There
For sure.
are many different things that can occur in somebody's life and different mental health disorders as well as neurological differences that can cause individuals to behave less socially mature than the age that they are. So I can completely understand that component. And there are, for instance, like my son is autistic and he is 6, but his age is more, he acts more like a 4-year-old. So, you know, there are certain things, you know, social immaturity is common. And, you know, people with ADHD like myself, I'm a 40-year-old and at times do not act 40. I still sometimes feel like I'm 25. But that doesn't mean that I say that I'm 25. I'm still 40, you know. But there are some things that, like addiction, for instance, they say that if you start using drugs or alcohol while your brain is still developing as a teenager, it can actually impair your brain's, like, I believe it's like your frontal lobe development, which is what controls your executive functioning, which can impair your ability to act appropriately. So there's so many factors that can come into play, but this whole idea that I am 69, but I feel like I'm 49, to me, this specific story seems more like he's doing this as a cop-out because he wants to date younger women and he's using it as an excuse.
That's the difference. If you're acting at a lower age, you know, or a lower age than you actually are, that's different from somebody saying, well, I just am tired of being on Tinder in the 69 age category.
Correct.
I want to go, you know what I mean? Like the thing is, I now this is ridiculous on a level that I have never seen before in my life. And it makes me, like the live chat says, yes, I lost my faith in humanity when I started doing YouTube. That was my biggest, that was the worst thing that I could have done. You find out so much stuff. Yeah, you find out so much stuff doing this. I'm scared to open my inbox every morning because there's something new there, like waiting. However, please, if you are up there, let this case win because I am tired of being in my 30s. I want to go back to my 20s, and if this is taken up, I will be 22 for forever. So Godspeed, Mr.
I miss
Mr.
my
Man.
30s.
Yeah.
My 30s were Friday.
You just left. Stop it. You just left. Okay. Let's throw the cabbage up there, Dave. Boom.
Wow. That's wonderful.
Yeah, I did it.
My girlfriend.
That is the best picture ever.
So I guess we should set the stage. And what we'll do is, well, if you follow the show, then the first episode that Katie and I did together, we touched on Jillian. So I think the majority of you know where Katie and I are coming from with the show that we did. Jeff was a part of that on that she was supposed to be a part of, and she didn't show up. And then Katie, that's how we met Katie. Actually, Jillian united Katie and I because Katie did. Yes, over the meltdown. Now, just sort of a quick overview. Jeff, can you explain to how you are in the middle of the Jillian saga, in case people don't know about Salt and Poo?
Yeah, well, God, it's been over a year now since people first started telling me that this woman was around, that she was trying to convince people to ferment water and cabbage and salt, dangerous amounts of salt, and you chug it, and then it can do all sorts of crazy stuff. Regrow arms, regrow limbs, regrow your organs, cure homosexuality, change your behavioral traits from aggressive to passive, all sorts of fascinating stuff. And then finally enough people were like, you have to look. And so I looked, made a video, made a few videos, and then me and Jilly went on Dr. Phil and confronted each other, and I just kind of kept an eye on her ever since. But it's gotten worse. It's gotten so much worse.
You guys, you have to, if you haven't seen the Salt and Poo series. You have to go watch it, and the Dr. Phil episode. It's really good, actually. She was incredulous. Like there was no penetrating that. There's no getting through that barrier. She had like steel on.
I almost felt like when I watched this Dr. Phil, I wanted to count how many times she said substantiate.
And intention.
An intention like over and over and over again. And I will definitely put a plug because Jeff's videos, I was telling him before we came on air, I watched those along with the Dr. Phil episodes in order to write my articles on Jilly.
And so we last left Jillian here on the show 3 weeks ago with the Attorney General saga, where she had gotten the letter from the Attorney General, and we were kind of in that lull. Jeff, you said that there is new developments going on. Let's start to go through what those developments are.
Okay, well, like even just putting aside for the ways in which her ideas have developed, because that's really crazy. But what's happened since then, she believes now, a little bit of recap, she believes now because of the FTC letter, all she has to do is, instead of say that Jilly Juice can do this or do that, she can just say Jilly Juice can do anything. Anything is possible. That's her safety net, which is probably going to work for a little bit, but things are ramping up even further. On top of that, she started getting letters from the Better Business Bureau, because on their website, you can go and submit a review. A lot of people had done so, had filled it up with information. I got some information like a year ago from some of the stuff that had been put up there. And Jillian was utilizing their service to reply to people and to fight with them in the review section of the Better Business Bureau. And they saw that as a violation of their service. So they wrote her a letter basically saying she needed to stop. And she very proudly proclaimed that she shredded it and then burned it. So she thumbed her nose at Better Business Bureau.
Yes, I wrote that. I wrote that last week in the article with the screenshots from the Better Business Bureau with the very big warning signs on their webpage, basically saying that like they've received multiple complaints from consumers that the products are harmful and have high levels of sodium, which can hurt people and cause damage to kidneys and all kinds of stuff, and that the business refuses to mediate with consumer complaints.
Right. And she's pretty much got it in her head that she's going to be going at this very guerrilla style. I mean, she's always had that idea in the first place. She likes the attention. She likes the trolls because it means more people hear about Jilly Juice. But I would be really curious to see her statistics numbers of people actually wanting to try it, because I don't think it's very high.
4.
Although on 4, right. On top of that, there are some rumors going around that I'm going to start investigating as well, but possibly other people who were very, very sick and did try the protocol, and it obviously did not save them, and they passed away, which is just, more fuel for the fire of debunking. Yeah.
I heard
it's only rumored right now. But...
Yeah, I heard a rumor that there might be 2 additional people.
Yep. Yeah, but it's hard because Jillian's savvy, so she knows how to kind of make it hard for anybody to find out about it.
How is that? I just have a question on the the way that's able to be even a possibility at this point. Obviously, the whoever with the Attorney General's office in Ohio has seen there's an issue and issued a sort of like a cease and desist, almost like either back up your claims or stop with peddling what you're doing. How is that not like they're not going out there effectively trying to just shut her down completely?
Well, the main problem is how they decided to handle it, because their arms are tied by the legalese that she manages to skirt. So what they did was the Ohio State Attorney General contacted the FTC, and the FTC tried to hit her with her advertising claims, her marketing claims. So basically, it was basically kind of like a cease and desist on how you're marketing this idea. And so instead, her being able to sell the idea or sell the protocol or sell the science behind it, she can't advertise it on her website. She can only do it in her book. So then all she has to do is advertise the book. And then legally speaking, there's nothing that they can actually do to her. The only way that they're going to be able to get her, in my opinion, is if they can quantify. They'll have to spend some money to do it too, taxpayer money, to quantifiably get expert testimony that this is a public health risk. They have to make what she is pushing a public health risk, and then they can take legal action. But other than that, there's not much they can do.
Well, not necessarily, because from what I understand is the letter that she received was not a cease and desist letter. She hasn't received the cease and desist letter yet.
That's probably me just mistakenly saying that. That was just me.
Yeah, well, and there are some ramifications once she does get the cease and desist letter. If she does continue to make those claims after she receives that legal letter, she's fined $41,000 a day. And they can make her pay back any. Yes. So when I was doing research following the FTC ruling, what I found was that the initial complaint that they responded to was like a formal warning letter that they were sending to her. And then she gets so much time to respond to that, as well as like cleaning everything up. But during that time, if she continues to get new complaints to the FTC, or if they still find her out of compliance, then they can get a court-ordered cease and desist letter. And once that court-ordered cease and desist letter comes in, she's basically ruined financially. And if she continues, it's literally like a $41,000 fine a day. Interestingly, though, along with that, she I totally lost my train of thought because you guys got all excited about the $41,000.
Yeah, we did.
That's really good to hear, though, because I was operating under the assumption that they just hoisted off like all responsibility to the FTC, and that was it.
Well, no. So the FTC is the one that can issue the cease and desist letter, and she uploaded. Yeah, and so she uploaded a copy of. What happened was she uploaded a copy of the FTC warning letter that she got, and it basically said in there, like, if you don't comply, we're going to issue a cease and desist letter. So then I ended up going onto the FTC website to find out what the standard of like the protocol would be. And the next step would be that they will issue a court-ordered cease and desist, and that's like legal action. And so she continues, but she is confused by their ruling because in the FTC bylaws, any media that she makes these claims can be like essentially like looked at as advertising. So her Facebook could be used as advertising. Her book could even be used as advertising. I mean, she's still selling a book that has unsubstantiated claims in it, and it's print, which is where they said that she can't have that. So there's,
books are tough though. I mean, like Carrie Rivera still makes like tons of money off her books, and they're everywhere. I don't know. It's hard when it comes.
She's in Mexico.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the one benefit.
Fled.
Yeah, she's in Mexico, and Jim's in Mexico, so it's like they're not gonna get into trouble because they've run away.
I have an issue. Like, what's wrong with our government when they send a warning letter before us? Like, why can't we just jump straight to the season? Like, if I'm in charge of an agency and I see somebody peddling a product that's giving everyone explosive diarrhea, it's given to women that we know of strokes, that have gone on national TV. There's speculation that people have died from this. Like, the cease and desist letter would be the first thing I would jump to. Like, that should be stage one. Like, stop doing this shit. You know what I mean? Like, there's no time for cleanup to back up your claim, because the more time that goes on, the potential for more people to die or get injured or have strokes is given. So why not just say, hey, You're doing dumb shit. Stop it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, go ahead, Katie.
Well, what I was going to say is I feel like in a lot of these cases, what ultimately happens is it has absolutely nothing to do with the legalities of what they're selling. That it ends up coming down to like a tax fraud, tax evasion type situation where they owe money to Uncle Sam or they're not claiming money to Uncle Sam, and Uncle Sam's just never going to not let you pay. So in that respect, it could come down to something as simple as that. And then in other cases where it's been like Jim Humble or Carrie Rivera, they just, or even Jennifer Daniels, the turpentine doctor, they just flee and they go out of the country and they run the same schemes just from online. And so, you know, I don't think Jillian has the same resources that these people have. So that's going to be one thing that won't be in her favor.
Right. Well, and also like the Rivera and Humble and Daniels, I mean, they were running their grift for years before they had to flee as well.
Right.
You know, it took public outcry. It took people being like, this is bad, this is dangerous, and demanding something be done. Because I mean, as far as like a watchdog regulatory body, that's us. Because there's no government,
Well,
there's no government agency that's I looking for it, you know.
Awesome.
Right. And Kyle and I did a show where we were talking about the fact that Jim Humble, even though he's in Mexico now, he's using Amazon to sell his products. And he's still
absolutely.
And he advertises it in a way where it misses the metrics on Amazon so that it doesn't appear that you're using it. He sells it as water purification, but yet it recommends that you buy a book on how to use it for oral consumption, you know? So it's so shady.
So on that though, like, so I just realized this the other day. Is somebody sent it in to me. So you know how Amazon owns Whole Foods, right? And
yes.
they bought out Whole Foods. Whole Foods in certain stores have started stocking books at the checkout counter at the impulse buy like racks, anti-vax books.
Ah, no way.
Yeah.
Amazon, why? In Whole Foods? That's so backwards. That's so backwards.
Well, it doesn't surprise me that there would be that kind of woo at Whole Foods, to be honest. I mean, that's their whole.
It does me. That takes me back. That takes me back big time. Like, okay, I know that. By the way, I fall for those impulse buys all the time. I am the world's worst. I will go into Walmart to get like
Mason,
some duct tape and a everything good?
Just
having mommy issues.
Hey.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
So I go into Walmart to get like duct tape and a tape measure, and I'll come out with gummy bears and a hammer. Like I walk in, I'm the worst at the impulse buys. But Whole Foods is supposed to be a place that sells, you know, healthy, fresh foods, stuff that you're supposed to do to keep yourself healthy. You know, that's how they sell their stuff. Why in the hell would they?
Well, but they still have an entire section of natural holistic remedies for health. So you can't. I worked at Whole Foods in college, and I wouldn't put it. Like I said, that's why I'm not surprised, because they have an entire section of their hospital of their store dedicated to pretending. Oh, well, I'm watching my cat get killed, and I'm like, we're gonna go to the hospital.
Oh man!
But like they have every natural remedy that you can buy there instead of having ibuprofen. So it doesn't surprise me because they're all about the woo at Whole Foods.
That's sad, Jeff. I hate that you told me that. I feel let down. Like I feel really let down.
I feel it.
When you start digging into what Amazon sells, it's so disheartening. I mean,
I can't do this. I love Amazon. I'm sorry, Amazon. Please
and
don't
it was cool because I had a reader actually send me like this whole spreadsheet of, okay, so this product is registered to this buyer, and they're also on eBay, and then they're located in this city, and then this is that place. And it ended up being within the same location as one of like the bishops of Jim Humble's church. I don't remember what his name is. Mark something. And it's you all you had to do was kind of connect the dots, and you figured out that like they're using they're using this way to still sell this product even though it's illegal. And coincidentally, somebody in Washington, a man in Washington, got sentenced to 5 years in prison for doing the exact same thing. And Amazon is
yes, he did.
What about
it really the only way to try and affect some kind of change in that too is you have to put public pressure on the larger companies. Like, you can't shame Whole Foods into not being crunchy. You can't. But I mean, there is obviously a way to enact a type of social pressure on Amazon of you need to address this. Problem with the book thing though, and it's the same thing with like Jillian, why, you know, her book is going to be sold regardless and nothing is really going to be able to stop it, and why it's safe for her to put those things in a book. In America, we don't ban books. We don't. Flat out. It makes everybody really uncomfortable the moment they think that a book should not be sold. 100%. So that's like that. That's that perfect little spot where you can hide every bad idea. Just put it in a fucking book because nobody's going to ban it, you know?
Right. Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, and it's self-published, and I'm sure that under the self-publishing guidelines, the publisher is completely held harmless. And so I'm sure it's no different than the type of contract.
Lulu Printing?
You know? Yeah. And she, you know, that was her argument. It was that my publisher would never let us publish this. And it's like, no, it's self-published.
Your publisher didn't read it.
Your publisher probably doesn't even care. They're just like, oh, I want $8 of the $19 that you're selling.
Right.
And she's, you know, she's probably sold 13 books. So
yeah.
I want one. I really do. I want one. I'm really tempted to order one.
We'll send you one, Jeff. We can.
I have a link to the entire downloaded book.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I want a physical copy to put up on my shelf. And if I ever end up on Dr. Phil with her again, I'm gonna get her to sign it. You know, it'd be great.
You think she will?
I don't think it's entirely impossible, to be honest with you. I really don't.
She can't. I mean,
she
can't stop giving media. I mean, she cannot stop herself from having any sort of media, interviews. I mean, she interviewed with the Daily Mail in the UK, and you know, she was just like,
she was supposed to interview with this NonSequitur show. I mean, but she totally. I'm hurt, Jillian. I'm hurt. You stood me up on the day of our. That's okay. We got Jeff, so it's not. It's a better trade anyway. I hear that there are some threats or something like that, Jeff, towards her way.
Yeah. This also is kind of unconfirmed, but I think that there's probably something to it. Recently, Jillian has been making some videos about how she's been getting death threats. This isn't the first time. It also happened a few months ago. But some people think that it's faked. Some people think that it's real. I'll put it this way. I got two things I'd really like to say about it. I'll put it this way. Number one, since I've been investigating her for over a year now, and getting to know some people involved in trying to take her down, there are definitely some people out there who are so mad that I think they might lose objectivity and actually try and fuck with her life or send her death threats. So I don't think it's implausible. Really don't. A lot of people who are really mad at her, whether their anger is completely justified or not depends on the person. But number two, I will say, like, publicly, don't fucking send Jillian death threats. Don't threaten her. Don't do that. Like me and Katie, we have to spend time, lots of time, analyzing, uncovering, digging into this kind of shit, and then we take the time to make these formulated arguments or at least comedic material to try and explain why she's wrong. If your response to seeing that and understanding who Jillian is to go and be like, why don't you go die or kill yourself? Like, it's an insult to us because that's some lazy shit. That's lazy shit. Right. We put in the work. You do too, or shut the fuck up and enjoy our videos and our articles. Fuck,
Right.
assholes.
I feel I
Right.
kind of I
It's no
kind of feel bad
different
because
than like all the
I've
time. It's
insulted you
no
guys.
different than all the time and energy that I have put into like the stuff with the free birth, and they're sending death threats to Emily Saldea and to the mother. And I'm like, dude, don't send them death threats. Be outraged and talk to your legislatures about these laws and these crappy like ways that these scammers are taking advantage of human people. No, but it's easier to just send a death threat and then make me look like the bad guy because I'm somehow the one that elicited all of this publicity about it. And so then I'm the one that's sending death threats. And I'm sure, you know.
I had a theory though. Like I literally thought 2 weeks ago she was done for because of the post where she's telling people to give the protocol to their pets, that their pets need it. I thought that because people get really, really, really angry when you fuck with their animals. Like people can fuck with other people, and I'm that same way. Like you can like people are old enough to, or you know, they should be able to make their own decisions, whether it's a good decision or a bad decision. Ultimately, it rests with the individual, unless they can't, like if they don't have the capacity to. But ultimately, it lands with the person making the decision. Animals and children don't have that same luxury. Like they can't help it if they're being force-fed this shit. And not to insult either of you. However, if she is peddling this stuff to animals and children that can't help it, then the other thing. She deserves the other thing. I'm kidding.
I want to make a little disclaimer here is that there's two different, I mean, there's different pockets of people that are involved in this whole fight with Jillian online. And there are some people that are genuinely very concerned citizens. And these are the people that Jeff and I work with very, very closely. I mean, Jeff and I are in the same group. And these are people that are fighting a really hard fight, and they are filing reports and on the phone and, you know, taking and monitoring her screenshots and reporting this to authorities. So there are people that are really concerned and taking actionable steps, which are different than the ones that Jeff is talking about that are making the threats. These people are completely unrelated. There are definitely concerned citizens.
Those people in those groups, like they are rock stars. Some of them are just absolutely wonderful and dedicated. I would not be anywhere near as far as I am now understanding this rabbit hole without them. Like they're the real super secret heroes of this whole thing. They're great. Oh man.
Yeah, they help me with free birth. They help me with Jilly. They help me with anti-vax stuff. I mean, these are the people that are in the trenches getting the information and using, you know, basically using people like me and Jeff to get their message out of, you guys have a platform, help us, you know? So Jeff and I do our best to help them. And sometimes Jeff and I say stupid shit and get in trouble and whatever.
Jeff says, speak for yourself. Jeff says, speak for yourself.
I was overheated.
Right, Jeff?
I had to take my
just say yes, Jeff.
My Tommy.
Just say yes.
Yes. I don't know what you just said, but yes.
Awesome.
I just said that we sometimes take the flack.
No. We do. Yeah, no, we do. But I mean, that's a responsibility of the platform is if you have the platform, you use the platform for good and you get to elevate those voices that don't have the platform. So, I mean, that's just the best thing you can do ethically. I'm just going to show up.
Oh, yes. This is glorious, guys. We have to take a second to marvel at this. Anybody in the live chat, brownie points if you can tell me what this is from. Can anyone in the live chat tell me where this is from? If you can, you're a rock star. But that is a fantastic sweater. Are you big into the ugly Christmas sweaters?
I am. Yeah. No, I really am.
Me too.
I got Santa Gaines, like a muscular Santa, like lifting up bags of presents. I had a brilliant one that had like hats with ties, and the ties were actually like yarn and stuck out everywhere. It was just disgusting. I loved it. It's great.
That's awesome. I have a tinsel and like those old style Christmas lights, the really shaped bulbs that stick out, and it's like a Christmas tree. And I wore this to a Christmas party, right? And I was there for literally 5 minutes, and this drunk chick backed into me and broke all 4 of the lights that were on the front of the, I mean, just I'd been there 5 minutes and I almost had
Oh
like
no.
there was like
You
an
know-
internal dialogue there for 5 seconds where I was like, I'm gonna kill this bitch right now. She's
As
dead.
you're describing,
Here at Christmas.
as you were describing that sweatshirt, I'm imagining a woman in Indiana named Peggy that has that in her closet.
I don't know how I feel about
Ooh,
that.
yeah.
I'm okay. Yeah, there's 1 or 2 ways that could go. Only 1 or 2 ways that could go. So, and I don't want to know. Don't tell me. Okay.
By the way,
So,
did you know because we can give men erections with Viagra, we can control the weather and have tornado weapons?
it's so weird that you say that because this is so funny. I have a guy that's coming. He's from Weather Wars. He believes that that Hurricane Katrina was manufactured by the Russians to try to wipe out key ports in the United States. He's coming in December.
Wow.
Oh my gosh!
Weather
Wow,
War.
that's
did
gonna
you-
be fun.
But where
What
where did you what was you saying that for, Jeff? What was the motivation behind that?
Because that's a new Jillianism. Dick tornadoes, Dick nados. So yeah, that's a new one.
Stop
That's her. That's a good. It's no.
She's been
This is real. This is totally
very-
real.
She's been very obsessed
Conspiracy
with
minded?
talking about sex in the last few months.
What-
Like
yes.
obsessed.
What is the Dick Tornado, Jeff?
talked-
What is this?
Okay, this is just a really good example, and this is I almost have it quoted verbatim because I saw this video so many times. But this is a good example of how her brain works and how her logic centers work. If we understand chemistry enough that we can make a pill that makes a man have an erection, then we understand chemistry enough that we can control the weather and throw tornadoes at places.
I give up. I'm done with YouTube. No more.
Yeah.
No more.
It's amazing.
Well, no,
How do you-
but when that what was the hurricane that was the big one that was in North Carolina?
Oh shit.
Florence,
affect- No, the one that just was this fall. Was it Florence?
Florence and Matthew, or Michael. Florence and Michael.
So Florence, when Florence was going on, she was doing updates that vaccines were causing the
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, vaccines were causing hurricanes. Yeah, no, it's wild. So, but you're right. She is obsessed with sex lately. She is absolutely obsessed with sex.
She talks
she
about
has
it
this thing.
so much.
I think I know why. Some people thought maybe it's because there's something going on in her personal life. I don't think so. I think it probably affects her personal life, but I would almost guarantee you a bunch of people on the protocol were complaining because their sex drive was going down, which, surprise, surprise, when you spend all day shitting your brains out with liquid
Right, they don't-
waterfalls,
Yeah, they don't.
you don't want to
feel
fuck.
good.
Oh, God,
Yeah,
liquid water.
I mean, nothing.
the
I don't know
TLC
about
song just
you
popped in my head. I
guys.
don't know why. Don't go chasing
Oh yeah,
waterfalls.
I don't know about you guys, but after I blow a fountain of liquid shit out of my ass, I just want to go get me some, you know. But so she had to come up with.
There are people who are like that, though.
why. Yes, there are.
Wow,
there are.
Jeff,
so this is her reason.
your hypothesis is really good. I like this.
So this is like how she explained it, because she had to have a way to explain it. She has to figure something out.
Yeah.
So here's what it is. If you're on the protocol, you're no longer in a death process, you're in a life process. And what that means is
No, it's a death trajectory, Jeff.
death, that's right. Death trajectory, which means your urge to breed is driven by the sense that someday you're going to die. Your own mortality
Correct.
makes you horny.
Yes.
Your impending
Yes.
death. So it makes you want to have babies. So when
Yep.
you are now effectively immortal because you're drinking her juice, you don't need to fuck.
not-
So your body's just not going to be horny.
So and she
I hate
also
this
says
woman.
this about
I hate this woman.
She also says this about procreation. So if you want to have a lot of kids, it's because you're dying and you're not following her protocol enough. And so you need to drink more of her protocol because having children is death, and having children is a death trajectory. And see, my hypothesis was that as a woman that she's like in her mid 40s is the vag is drying up.
She's not getting
well, the vag is getting dry.
Husband.
She's probably perimenopausal because she's obsessed with talking about her period now too. Like it's every month she talks about her period.
She's literally doing everything you're not supposed to. She's literally, it's like somebody handed her a checkbook and said, "Don't do these things in society. Like, don't say this shit and don't do this shit." She's going, "Well, fuck you. Hold my beer. Watch this."
I know, she has no boundaries. And then she's like talking about how her husband always wants to have sex and she doesn't want to have sex.
Is that true?
She even alludes to a lot of the time, like sort of with these mild undertones, that she's almost in this like loveless marriage.
Really?
Yeah, and like that's there's been a lot of things, you know, like I said, because I've been tracking her for a long time. There's a lot of things that are interesting about a relationship. I tend to like try not to focus on it or even consume it because it seems like an odd thing for her to even mention to begin with. But you know, the more she puts her life out there, the more she puts out these crazy ideas, the more it becomes relevant. And I don't know, man, it's
well,
so
and
crazy.
I think, you know, with a lot of the women that have been working very hard, you know, and tracking this and sharing this, it's very difficult not to see the patterns, you know. And as women, we're obviously interested in the relationship sides of things. We just like that kind of gossip, and she's just got something going on there.
I just forgot, or I just remembered. Also, this is another really good one. You might have heard about this one, Katie, but like stem cells and organ replacements are the reason for ghosts.
No, I have not heard this.
No?
I hate
oh my God.
Why do I do this to myself?
Okay.
Why do I do this to myself?
because this is mutated foreign DNA and material that's inside of you, and it's causing you to have experiences from this other person's life. Yeah. Yeah.
Now tell me,
at one
Jeff.
point,
Now,
she said vaccines too.
Tell me with a straight face now, this woman does not deserve death threats. I want to see you look at me in the eyes right now and tell me that she does not deserve that.
She does not deserve death threats. She does not.
Oh,
no.
Jillian,
no, nobody deserves
wonderful.
death threats. I mean,
at this point, I can't even get mad at her. I can't even get mad at her.
Like I was telling Kyle last week that now when I cover her, initially my coverage was aimed at like she's killing people and she's horrible and she's this and she's that, but like the anger starts to consume you, and if you literally spend all of your time in that anger, like now I've just gotten to the point where I just mock her word salad and like make fun of the crap she says because she's if otherwise I'll just be so mad all the time.
Yeah.
And some of it is just oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. I was just going to say we're going
to
wind down a little bit. Go ahead, Jeff.
Just some of it at a certain point, everything that she says ends up so ridiculous. Like the concept of debunking it feels insulting. It feels insulting to me that I would even need to explain it. I mean, I still try to, but my God, I got all my notes done for the next few episodes, and it's gonna be really easy for me to make them. But the first one that the one that I just put out, that's like a third of the footage that I shot because the other 2/3 was me like just freaking out and just ripping into her way too hard. So that was me toned back. Yeah.
Let it go, Jeff. Let it out. You sat and watched. No. You sorted through shit literally, and any man that can do that, like, and we don't have to go there. But the hearing about it the first time was enough for me. But hats off to you. Like you're a trooper. You're a veteran of this. You two are veterans.
Did you actually try the
war.
protocol? Did you try the protocol?
Me? No way. No way.
Well,
but
I have a surprise for you both.
I
have a surprise for you both.
What's that?
I have someone coming on the show in on the 21st that has done the protocol.
Really?
Oh.
Wow. Oof. Oof.
Miles Powers.
Oh, cool.
Well,
Hey.
some of those groups
You're
online
both
have
both
some
invited, by the way.
people-
You're both invited to that show.
Oh,
Absolutely.
21st.
oh my
Go ahead, Katie.
goodness.
We're gonna start winding down, guys. I think we've our blood pressure has rose enough. Or mine has at least. I'm ending it. I can't take anymore. 6
Yeah,
hours.
you
of,
just
flat-
you
flat
like
earth and
you
Jilly,
have this
no.
like love. You have this like love-hate relationship with Jillian because you always want to
Okay.
talk about her, but then every time you talk about her, you're like, ah!
She fascinates me. Like she's like a circus sideshow freak. Like she should not exist, but she does, and since she does, I'm forced to pay attention to her. You know what I mean? Like it's like gravity. I'm pulled into her bullshit.
Yes. The last article I wrote on her is she's officially entered Trainwreck, like the Trainwreck component where it's like she's at Trainwreck level. Like you just can't look away. Like I don't want to know what's going on, and then I just end up I have to see.
She did. Jeff made a face there though. Jeff, what was the face there?
I'm just looking over. I'm just looking at my notes and some of the things that because you said just go crazy, get mad. Well, I'm the reason why I'm pacing myself is the next videos are the ones that I'm gonna get mad. And one of my notes here. This is from one video, 3 minutes 15 seconds in. Put it in their belly button. Enema. Be aggressive in juicing your children.
God, I don't want to live on this planet anymore. Can the aliens please come get the normal of us, please?
The children ones make me so angry. There was a period a couple weeks ago where she was telling parents of children that have cancer to like get them off chemo and have them just do the protocol.
Ugh.
That one made me very ticked.
Yeah, Jillian may here's my advice. This is what I would say to Jillian. Jillian, please. You believe in your product. This is a genuine cry to you, Jillian. Okay. You obviously believe in your product. You believe it can cure all these diseases. It can work wonders, right? Quadruple up on your protocol every hour. I think you should do nothing but drink your protocol. And when you think that you've drunk enough, continue to drink. And when you think that it's over and you can't do it anymore, continue to drink. Drink until physically you can't anymore. And then the world will be a better place. How about that? That's not a death threat. That's a genuine implore to use her product. I think it's a win-win for everybody. We all win on that. We all win there.
I would settle for her just not doing breastfeeding or kids or animals anymore. I'd be happy if she just did that.
But yeah, but
I would be happy if she
quadruple it.
Did it. Yeah, just did it to herself and nobody else.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I
had. She's addicted to the attention,
the thrill.
And the thrill and the notoriety. And
I'm addicted to
she's
her,
not,
man.
I mean, she's literally making no money on it. So.
No.
It's not about the money. I don't think it's about the limelight. She likes being in charge of people's health. That's an intoxication thing. She likes the feeling of people go to her for cleansing and rejuvenation and curing the gay and all this other bullshit. Like it's a power thing.
The gay.
Yeah, you can't. You know why? Because nobody that's gay wants to be cured from being gay. They're having too much fucking fun being fabulous. Sorry.
Okay. If Billy Juice could. No, I'm not even gonna go there. Okay. I'll put it this way. Before I actually learn how to not be awkward around women, when I was growing up, I wanted nothing more than to be gay because my God, that sounded wonderful. Wonderful. You just get to hang out with your buddies and then have sex with them too. That sounds great.
I hear that a lot.
Alas.
I hear that a lot from straight guys.
Yeah.
That's more common than you think.
Oh, I believe it. I absolutely believe it.
But this was so much fun. Jeff, thank you for coming by and hanging out with
I'm so happy you came on.
And
Yeah, it was
I
really
think
good to
that,
finally meet you too, Katie.
I know, you too.
and I hope that you both will join us for the Miles Power show. That's going to be awesome. He's going to take us through.
Wait. You're going to have Miles on?
Yeah, 21st.
That's, oh my gosh. Okay, I was going to bring up his name because he made the video about drinking it.
Yeah, that's why we're having him on.
Oh my gosh. The video is so funny. He's like, he opens the jar and he's like,
He's good. He's good. But I saw that.
He's the reason. He's the reason I got started doing YouTube. It's Miles. He's the one who inspired me to do it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he's.
Oh, good.
Awesome.
This will be a cool show then. That'll be really cool.
I'll be fangirling over Jeff, and then Jeff will be fangirling over Miles, and then who are you?
Who's
I've
gonna
hung out with
fangirl over
Miles
me?
a few times.
Yeah. Who's gonna fangirl over me, live chat? Press
I
one.
fangirl over you all the
I'm just
time.
kidding.
Pal.
I fangirl over you all the time.
I love you guys. Y'all are my favorite. Okay, Jeff, please shield the hell out of everything that you have going on. Let us know the ins and outs. And
Hi, I'm Jeff Holiday. You can find me by Googling Jeff Holiday. More Jillian videos are coming out this month, and the last one probably in December. The last one until I take another 6-month break and do it again. But you can find my library and all that good stuff. And you can find me on Twitch, Real Jeff Holiday.
And I'll link when this is over. I'll link all of that down below, so you can go to his Twitch. And if you're watching this later on, it'll be down below you. And also Katie's blog. Well, Katie, go ahead and let them know about Pathos and all of that stuff too.
Well, I'm on Pathos and Facebook at Without a Crystal Ball. My Pathos blog is pretty much whatever rabbit hole I'm down at the time. Lately, it's been free birth. Sometimes it's anti-vaccine. Sometimes it's the president of the United States.
Heard about blood sausage?
Blood sausage. Yes. Yeah. Like swastika parties, whatever. I literally will just.
Hold on, Katie. Jeff's shaking his head too calmly. This lady made blood sausage out of her own blood.
Out of her own blood.
Oh, I've seen it. Yeah, no, I've seen it. Yep.
Okay, you need to get out of YouTube because you just shook your head noddingly way too calmly, like this is another Sunday night. When I heard that, I was under a table shaking for like 8 hours.
I was grossed out by it, but I was more pissed off that she ended up taking blood bags from donated sources that could have been used at blood banks.
Stop it.
Oh,
you want to know what's funny? I was typing in the love chat, I love you guys, because they were saying some really nice stuff. And that's when I said sausages. So I actually typed out sausages. I actually put, I love sausages.
You do love
you didn't
sausages.
get that. Nice. Well, yeah, that's accurate. But anyway, go ahead, Katie. Sorry.
Oh, you can find me on Pathos. I'm always there. I'm always on Facebook, Twitter, at WOA Crystal Ball, and Facebook. It's facebook.com/withoutacrystalball. I post all of my articles. I write 1 to 2 times a day. Today I actually took a day off, so
good for you. Well, check out these two people. They are amazing. They do great work, and it wouldn't be the same without them. And I appreciate them both joining me tonight for this awesome installment of the Smoking Nun. Drink up, Jilly, and you guys have a fantastic night.
bye, guys.
Non sequitur. Your facts are uncoordinated.